Hey everyone, and welcome to our channel. Recently, during our free consultancy calls, one question keeps popping up. So what is the most common question? It's about skill-based planning. Well, we do have a great video on our channel, and I do recommend that you watch it as well. We decided to record an updated version focusing on what has changed in terms of tools, because a lot of things have changed since our last video. And to make it worth your while, I will not only answer some common questions about skill-based planning, but also share a tip that can save you a lot of money on your Jira and BigPicture licenses. So let's get started. What if you could align the right people with the right tasks every single time? What if you could see your team's collective capabilities at a glance and plan with precision, not just availability? Welcome to the future of project planning, skill-based planning with Jira and BigPicture. If you're new to our channel and new to Jira and BigPicture, BigPicture is one of the best PPM tools or project and portfolio management tools available on the Atlassian's marketplace, and it is free for up to 10 users. So make sure to check it out. We do have plenty of videos on our channel about BigPicture and other tools, but also have a free BigPicture online training course. Also, we do have a paid version, so make sure to check it out. Now, traditional project planning often focuses on tasks and deadlines, but overlooks crucial element, skills. We assign based on who's free or who might know how to do that. This leads to bottlenecks, burned out specialists, lower quality outcomes, and a whole lot of wasted time. You might have amazing talent on your team, but if you don't know who has what skill, you can't leverage it effectively. Skill-based planning is about strategically assigning tasks based on specific competencies required, ensuring optimal resource utilization and higher project success rate. It transforms your planning from reactive to proactive. But how do you implement this in real world, especially when you're already managing complex projects in Jira? The answer lies in the powerful synergy between Jira and BigPicture. So let's see it in action. Now, I've already created a timeline or a list of tasks that is structured and assigned some skills to my work items, but let's break it down and start with a little bit of the configuration, since it is required to properly make use of the skill feature in BigPicture. So to configure the skills, you will need a BigPicture administrator permission, and you can click on this App Settings button in the top right corner and go to the Resources tab. Actually, there's a dedicated security role called Resource Manager that will also allow you to access this section. Here I can see a list of my resources or my Jira users, and on the resources page there is the skills screen where you can define new skills. Now I will use the skills that are already defined, so I have a business analyst, developer, project manager and tester. Now you may say, okay, these are roles and not necessarily skills, and you are correct. You can create more detailed skills in here as well, but for that example I think that will be sufficient. So now that we have a list of skills, you might also want to assign skills to your actual team members. So let's go to the individual screen, and as you can see, I've already done that. So when I click on one of the clickable names, I will see a whole lot of details about this particular resource or Alex. I see that he's assigned to a workload plan, he works part-time, to a holiday plan. He's also a member of 2 teams. All right, that's another very important concept in BigPicture, and we'll get back to that. And I see that I've assigned the business analyst skill to Alex. Now here, when assigning new skills, you can do one very cool thing. You can not only assign multiple skills, which I do not really recommend, I will explain that in a while, but you can set the start date and the end date. So what does that mean? It means that you can plan skill development of your team members over time. And that's very important, especially when you want to make long-term plans and hiring decisions. So you'll know that some of your team members will acquire a new skill over time. They're during the training right now, or you will be hiring a new resource with a particular skill. That's exactly what you can do here using the start and end dates. Now, I mentioned that I do not recommend assigning multiple skills to people, and the reason for that is that BigPicture doesn't really handle multiple skills that well. I mean, it does handle it, but it makes the calculations based on the skills availability across your teams not very accurate. You can still use BigPicture for that purpose, but it works best in a one-to-one relation when you have one skill per person. All right, I will get back to that later, so don't worry. So I see that Alex is a business analyst since 1st of April 2025. That's great. Now I can also check the other team members. So I do have a developer, I do have a tester, I do have a PM. So that is great. That would be enough for this exercise. So we do have the team members, we have the list of skills, we have assigned the skills to the team members. Now we will also need to assemble a team. Now, if we go to the Teams module, you will see that I've already assigned two teams, outsource team and the game changers. Within the game changers team, I have Alex, I have Anna. Anna is not assigned to any skill. I have Nick, a project manager, and I have Steve as tester. So that would be enough for my project. Let's see the outsource teams. I also have an outsourced developer here. So that would be good enough for this example. And I do see that ad is a little bit overutilized. It will not be an issue for now, but in real life, this is something that you will need to resolve. Let's go back to our Gantt and let's have a look at the timeline. So assigning skills is pretty straightforward. I do have an already structured list of or my project. Now, if I want to assign a skill to a particular task, I just need to make sure that the skill field is added as a column here, and it's a select list type of field. So I can just select the skill that is needed and or skills that are needed, and that's really it. And the skill is assigned. That's great. So what can I do with this information? Well, first of all, I already see here in this resources panel at the bottom of the screen, you can enable it here by clicking this show hide resources button, that I have a list of team members and some numbers, color-coded numbers telling me the number of hours. So if I click on this cog icon right here, I see that we are looking at let's look at the original estimate effort mode, since we haven't really started this project yet. And you can also work with remaining estimate or story points. Now, I will not explain this in this video. We do have a dedicated video about resource management, so I do encourage you to watch it as well. And we have a weekly, monthly, and daily aggregation. So that basically means that in the following weeks here, I do have Nick that is over allocated, but it only looks at the availability of the resource. It doesn't really look at the skills. So what can I do with that fact? Well, I have a dedicated view for that purpose, and it is called the resources module. And here there are a couple of great things. And if you watch our previous video about skill-based planning, you've probably noticed several changes in the interface here, both in Jira and BigPicture. And that is great. BigPicture and Jira both improved their product significantly. So let's try to decode what we see here. Well, first of all, you might be wondering, okay, but we assembled a team. Where is the team? Well, this provides two views, actually, the individual view that we are looking at right now and the teams view. So let's switch to the teams view, where I already see my teams that are already assigned some work items. So I do have my outsourced team as well as my game changers team. Now, at the bottom of the screen, I did enable the skill panel, and within the skill panel, I see the list of available skills. That's because I've already assigned skills to my team members. If I haven't done that, now you would see that there's no capacity. So we have two rows here, and in this row indicated with the full charge battery, this indicates the capacity. So the numbers here are derived from the workload plans of our team members. And if you remember, if you paid attention, I had a business analyst that was working part-time or 4 hours per day. That is why in that case, and I only had one business analyst, that is why I have the capacity for the business analyst here equal to 4 hours per day. But when it comes to project managers, I might have 2 project managers or a single project manager working full-time. That's why the skill capacity is equal to 8 hours, or the full working time of that particular team member. Now you might be wondering, okay, but what about your developer? How come this guy, the capacity for that skill equals to 84? And that's the trick I mentioned in the beginning of the video, so you can actually cheat within BigPicture. And a lot of you guys are asking about dummy accounts. Can I use dummy accounts? So if you've reached the top of your license tier and your boss doesn't allow you to purchase more licenses, so listen carefully, I will get back to that at the end of the video. Alright, so we know what is the skill capacity and we know what is the demand. How is the demand calculated? And what do we actually see here? Well, we see that our developers do not have any assigned work in that time period in June of 2025. I do have some extra work for my project manager, including weekends. Actually, let me switch to the new interface, new version of the resources module here. So we do have our teams here. Let's clear the filters and we can switch to the skills view, right? Or we can combine these views and actually switch to teams and then group by skills. So this way we have this combined information in a single view instead of this lower skill panel. Well, you can use both if you prefer the older interface. Feel free to use that. So right now we'll see that within the teams, what are the available skills. So within the outsourced team, we have business analysts, we do have developers. So I see that there's a little bit of mismatch here. What we can do about it? Well, first of all, we can start assigning work based on the correct skill. Well, if I click on the task, you'll see that the skill required for this is the business analyst, and it is assigned to Ed, and Ed does not have the required skill. So already here BigPicture is telling you that, well, there is something wrong. You can actually enable warnings, and the tasks that need your attention will be highlighted with this yellow frame. So that's exactly what BigPicture helped me here. Now, can BigPicture help me to resolve this issue? Well, I can click on this Find Perfect Match, and as you can see here, I do have Alex, who is a business analyst. Let me maybe expand this a little bit. I do have Alex that is a business analyst. Alex is most likely available. He is a 100% match, meaning that not only he has the needed skill, but also is available in that time. So let's assign it to Alex. And let's see where it is now. It is moved to business analyst here. Now we are looking at the teams view. So you don't really see Alex here, but I can switch here quickly to individuals. And in that case, I will and save this view. And in that case, I will still be able to see all the team members. So I do have Alex here, and Alex was indeed available, had no task assigned to him. Now let's go back to the previous view. I wanted to see the skills. I do see that within the teams I still have some tasks that are assigned to the incorrect person or incorrect team. So I can do the same for the team, and I see that the Game Changers team has the required skills for that particular task, which is again a business analyst. So I actually clicked the incorrect team, so let me fix that. So let's assign it to the Game Changers team, and let's assign also other tasks to the correct team and to the correct assignee. If I remember correctly, the algorithm works in such a way that 70% of the score is when the team or the assignee has the required skill. The remaining 30 is for the time availability. So anything in between is a mix of the two. So let's assign it to the correct team. And right now we see that we still have some over allocation problems. I see that our business analyst team is still over allocated. Well, I can move some of the tasks, right? Since I don't have any more business analysts on that team, I can move a business analyst from a different team, or simply move the tasks and hence delay the project itself. So a couple of great things here. Now there are more skill related features here. You can open the side backlog here and assign skills to your work items, set the estimates, assign it to team members if you remember what their skills are. If you don't remember, you can reverse the levels here and, for example, start with skills and then individuals. So at the individual level you will know exactly which person has a specific skill. So I do have actually 3 business analysts here, but some of them are not available at that particular time. So, well, what can I do here? Well, I can reassign some of the work, but then I will create an over allocation issue, and then I would need to move some of these items further in the future, assuming that BigPicture allows me to do that, because I am using auto-based scheduling, and a better way to do that would be using the Gantt module. I also mentioned earlier two of the most common questions. Should I be using the multiple skills? Well, I did mention that it doesn't work that well, since BigPicture will look at the effort for the task that is assigned 2 skills and divide it by 2. Now, as you can see, what happened? We have the task assigned to 2 skills, developer and business analyst. The duration is 7 work days and the original estimate is 1 week and 2 days. What does this mean? It means that BigPicture will distribute the effort or the original estimate evenly over the duration period. So it's exactly 4 hours per day. If it was just the business analyst, and let's do it now, let me clear one of the skills, then it will assign the full estimate. What is the issue here? Well, the issue here is that it will take the effort and divide it by the number of skills, which might not be the case in real life. So for example, I don't know, you're 20% of your time you're spending as a business analyst and 80 as a developer. In that case, this is something you will not be able to achieve using BigPicture. You can still use the tool to actually see what is the demand, but my recommendation would be to simply split your tasks and keep it 1-to-1 when it comes to skills, and both at the tasks at the skill level and at the team member level. Now, the tip that I mentioned in the beginning of the video is something that a lot of you ask about quite often. The problem here is that you plan to hire new teams even, right? Not only individuals, but you want to hire new skilled personnel, skilled team members, or even whole teams in the future. You don't really want to create Jira accounts for that purpose yet. So what you can do here is go to the app settings, resources, use a single or several accounts with different skills, and go to the workload plan section. Here you have this efficiency multiplier. What does it do? It can actually simulate as many team members as you want using a single account. So what is the trick here? Instead of efficiency 1, set it to 5 if you want to simulate 5 team members. I think I've done that already for add, so let's have a look at add. And as you can see, for add, I have a default workload plan with efficiency 5, with efficiency 10, meaning that one single account, if you add it to a team, it creates a team of 5 or 10 of as many team members as you like. So this way you don't have to pay for a higher license tier, and that can save you a lot of money. Now there are plenty of other tips and tricks that we can share. We do offer paid and free training for BigPicture and other popular tools on Atlassian's marketplace. Keep in mind that there are other more sophisticated configurations that are not that straightforward, and if you want to save your time, money and energy, feel free to reach out to us. Our team will be more than happy to help you not only set up your project and portfolio environment, but also optimize your processes and take your project and portfolio management to the next level. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.